Our previous video looked at using levels to enhance the contrast of an image. In this occasion we're looking at an image where the contrast is actually quite nice. We've got bright white fluffy clouds and dark shadows in this, so we don't really need to work on the contrast, but we do need to correct this rather strong blue colour cast that's appeared over the image. This is most likely to have occurred due to the time of day the shot was taken. At midday the colour temperature will often be quite high, so you'll get this strong blue cast. Conversely, shooting indoors with a bare bulb, for example, late at night, you'll get an orange cast over your image. We can use levels to correct this quite easily. I'm going to use a levels adjustment layer as opposed to going through the image adjustments. So using the layers palette, I'm going to use the levels adjustment layer. This brings up the levels as we've already been. This brings up the levels as we're already familiar with. We can see from the graph that the content is quite even. We've got bright highlights, we've got dark areas, so we don't need to actually make any adjustments to the white or the black points of the image. However, if you look here at these eyedroppers, we have a corresponding eyedroppers for the black, the greys and the white points of an image. I can set the white point simply by choosing the white point and clicking on an area that is bright white. I can click around, try different areas to experiment. Using the white point is often the easiest way to do this, as you should be able to easily visually recognize any white areas. However, Photoshop can be fooled a little bit with the white point, so it's often safer to use the grey point to choose an area of the image that has more neutral content. So with the grey point selected, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit more using the Control Plus. Ideally, you should be working on this at 100%, but with size constraints for this video, I'm having to do this much smaller. So I'm just going to click around on a few grey points, and you can sort of see how each time I click on a different grey point, how the image changes quite dramatically. So I'm going to choose a grey point that I think is most likely. We'll just zoom back out a bit. It's tricky at this sort of size to gauge the right grey point, but at full size you will find it much easier. Okay, so I'm happy with that. So I'm ready to OK the settings. However, you may actually have liked the blue cast it created, so we can boost this up using levels without affecting the white point, simply by using the channels themselves. I can boost the dark end of the green channel. You can see how that beefs things up a little bit. Similarly, I could darken the midpoint of the reds a bit there as well. And if we now preview, OK the settings, let's just get this into view. So that's with our correction in place, and this is our original shot. It's a subtle difference, but you'll see that the greens in the screen and the glass here become much more vivid. The whites of the clouds are much cleaner. So that's just a simple little correction you can do using